That's right. It's been over 2 months since I've been on the bike, and I'm still feeling a little apprehensive, but I'm gonna do it. My brother came over yesterday to help with the repairs, so the bike is ready. Let's find out if I am. And while I'm riding, I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what I've been thinking about over the past year or so about the direction my life is heading and has headed. So stand by. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ziggy. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get Ziggy with it. Now, I came over to this place to start my vlog because the entrance to this neighborhood is pretty striking. See how the trees form a canopy over the top? It looks even more better from the other side. But I wanted to go this way. Now, this is Louisiana Highway 82. I'm just trying to let everybody go, and I guess I'm confusing everybody. Shame on me. I hate when people do that to me, so I probably pissed all of them off too. Oh well. Alright, so Louisiana 82. I don't know if there's a name of a town where I am right now, but I am going toward Abbeville. And I wanted to show you this because it is a very nice ride, and also gives me the chance to pontificate about where I've been and where I'm going. So, here we go. Yesterday, my big brother came over and helped me work on the bike. Yes, I said that earlier, but I needed to clarify, because when I say he came and helped me, that means he did all the work while I stood around watching. You know, same way I do with his son, my nephew, when he comes over to help me. So be advised, if you're ever coming around to help me, you're not coming around to help me. You're coming around to do the work while I watch. Got it? Good. Also, I would like to apologize in case my camera is pointing down too much, but I forgot my little tool to help me adjust it, which I should not have forgotten, considering the last time my camera was adjusted was when I crashed into the ground. So I really wanted to vlog while I was riding, but it seemed to be excessive wind noise, and I don't know if that's because of the crash damaging my helmet or not. I don't think so, but it did kind of damage where the windscreen joins with the helmet a little bit, so it could be because of that. Anyhow, I'm in lovely Abbeville right now, and lovely park, as you can see. This is right off of downtown. I guess it would be called the square or the center of town. and behind me, statue of the founder of Abbeville. And apparently he was a priest because they got "Pal" in front of his name, so that's French for father. So I'm guessing he was a priest or a monk or something. So anyhow, back to me. This is about me, not him. Okay, so about the time I got out of the trucking business, I had discovered nomads on YouTube, whether they were in some kind of trailer or a van or some kind of camper. They would just go wherever they want to and live like that. And I found it intriguing. I mean, I was pretty much a nomad already due to the trucking business and used to living in a small confined space because of that. And it was intriguing. And then after trucking ended and I was stuck with a mortgage that pretty much takes my entire disability check, that's when I'm like, you know, I got to do something to where I don't put myself in a position of having all these bills anymore. You know, especially something like a mortgage, because it's like $1,300 for the mortgage, almost $1,300 for the mortgage, and another $800 and something for the truck note. So now I started researching more and more. My plan being sell the house and use that money to pay off the pickup. And then I figured I needed some kind of niche to get people interested in me. And what I was going to do is get the Z28 running and get a small trailer to pull behind it and live there. And I mean, you know, what could be more intriguing than a Z28 running around the country with a trailer? You know, I think it would catch people's interest. But it's like every single person that I talked to about it did not consider it to be a good idea. So then I had started talking with a guy about buying his little trailer, and when he sold it to somebody else instead of me, that kind of took the wind out of my sails, and figured I would start listening to other people. And you know, like my friend Paul in Metairie suggested, get a race car trailer and, you know, use your truck, pull the car around and live in the other half of the trailer. So I started toying with that idea. And as I did more and more research, I ran across the moto vloggers. That was people vlogging while riding their motorcycles around, which is what I'm trying to do now. And I figured I needed a little bit of a niche there. So I figured, hey, these guys are doing it on Groms, why don't I get a Benelli? You know, and that way you got this big old huge guy on a little tiny bike. That's a niche, right? However, my vlog that has garnered the most attention in a positive light so far has been the one where the bike wasn't even in it. It's where I'm driving around picking up Tasso and complaining about the Saints losing to the Rams and stuff like that. And so it turns out, I guess I didn't need a niche after all. I just have to be me and talk about me and what I'm doing. And hey, that's what I wanted in the first place, right? Okay, so then it kept evolving. And the more I looked into motorcycles, I started running across these guys on adventure bikes, and they were going across the United States almost entirely off-road on a thing called the TAT, the Trans-America Trail. So I kind of became obsessed with that, and I was looking at another Benelli bike to perhaps purchase and do the TAT, and that would be the TRK 502X. However, they're not even in the States yet. The closest place I can find it is Mexico. So I don't know if they're ever coming to the States. And then I crashed and broke my arm. And then I'm like, you know, well,
maybe not. Then I crashed and broke my ribs. And I'm like, nope, there's no way I'm going on the tat on a motorcycle, because the one thing I've learned from all of the videos I've been watching is that the guys who do it at some point are going down. And I'm too old and fat to go down like that so many times. It hurts a lot when you're my age and my size, and takes forever to heal. So then I somehow ran across the Mahindra Roxor, which looks like a mini Jeep. It's classified as a side-by-side, and it has a little diesel engine. So I was looking at that, but then I'm like, no, I don't want that. It's ugly. It looks like a little Jeep. And then I found out that some people are actually, in some states, getting them registered to be legal on the road. And it's a side-by-side. So then I started investigating that. And I'm like, if it's a side-by-side and it can be registered on the road, I've been wanting one particular side-by-side since 2015 when they first came out, which is the Yamaha YXZ. I've been intrigued with it, and by all accounts, it seems to be a really good side-by-side. And they are registerable in some states. Is registerable a word? Okay, it is now. So I did find places that you are able to register any kind of side-by-side once you put on the correct equipment, of course, like windshield wipers, horn, turn signals, brake lights, and I don't know what else, but those are the basics of what you would need to make it street legal. But as I continued my research, I found that it would not be legal in all of the states that I would have to go through to do the tat. And another thing, if I manage to make things go right so that I can do the Transamerica Trail, I would pretty much be forced into making a video every day for at least a month. But of course, you would have to be subscribed to get Ziggy with it. So that means I had to set my sights on something bigger. And since I don't want a regular Jeep, Wrangler type of Jeep, because so many other people have already done that, I started looking at Suzuki Samurai. Yeah. And then I thought, hey, I could get the Suzuki Samurai and drop in one of those crate Cummins diesels, and that would be fantastic. But then I found out the Cummins diesel sells for $9,000. So I'm like, no, I don't think so. But then I heard that you could drop in a Volkswagen diesel. So I started looking at that. Drop in the Volkswagen diesel, put the Toyota axles on it to give it extra strength, and then head on out. But the more I thought about that, the more I thought about my Camaro that's in the garage and has been down for over a decade now, and it was supposed to be a 2-week project. So I figured chances are pretty slim that I would get everything together to be able to do that. So then I remembered a few years before, I had actually checked out the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, and I really like those. And from the videos I've been watching, they're a lot more capable off-road than one might expect. Very good. So I started researching those, and I found out you can actually fit a mattress in the back. So I wouldn't even have to have a tent. I could just put a mattress in there and rig up some kind of screens for the windows so that I can get air and a fan for the hotter nights, and have a sleeping bag or just even a quilt or blanket for the colder nights. Okay, so that's what I have my sights set on now. Also, back in my trucking days, I used to always see the Natchez Trace Parkway, but it has signs up that say no trucks allowed. So I've never been able to get on it. So I figure that I would have to use the Natchez Trace Parkway to get to the start of the TAT. And of course I would have to report that also. I still have to get off my lazy butt and clean up the house so that I can list it for sale. The time that I think would be optimum for going on the TAT would be like right after the 4th of July, because I'm not certain how long it'll take. It seems like the adventure motorcyclists are taking about 2 months to do it, but there's one guy I'm watching now. His channel is Sir William Goes, and about a year ago he did it with his wife, and I'm only up to Arkansas with them right now, but their goal is to do it in 20 days so that they can go down the Pacific Coast Highway and do some other vacation-y stuff before they have to get back to work when they run out of vacation days. As I was mowing the back 40, I had one of those moments of clarity that only happens a couple of times in a lifetime. While the mower was singing as loud as Metallica, I discovered that, okay, come close, it's a secret. Farts are much more pleasurable when you can actually hear them. That is, unless you're crop dusting. So what I'm trying to do by saying going after the 4th of July is avoid holidays. So sometime between the 4th of July and Labor Day, I'm thinking would be optimum, because there's no holidays where there's just a big influx of people that would cut down on places where I could park or even get a hotel room. I mean, even though it's the summer, there's no holidays in between there, so I should be okay, right? And I'm definitely not going at winter. I hate the cold and the snow. No thank you. I'm going when there's no snow and hopefully no crowds to where I can actually have places to sleep. Okay? Yes, I am that close to the church. So anyhow, that's where I've been, that's where I'm going. And after I get done with that, then I would start looking for probably a permanent place. Because if I was to continue and live the nomadic lifestyle, I'd have to sell everything, you know, because if I keep everything, then I'll have to pay storage. And I don't want to do that either. So I would have to sell everything and find an old Freightliner Sprinter or Dodge Sprinter and rebuild it, drop an engine like the one in my pickup truck in it, because I love those little diesels, and then take off from there. And that way I could stealth camp even on city streets, because it would look like a work van. Okay, so I'm not sure if I would want to do that. I'm not to that point yet, but I do want to do a lot of stuff like make t-shirts and maybe get into some other artsy and craftsy stuff, because I've been watching a lot of those videos also. And to be able to do that kind of stuff, I would need a permanent place. So I would have to find a really cheap piece of land somewhere and put up a really cheap metal building so that I could live in it and do all my craftsy stuff. But who knows, that's still a ways off. That would wait until after I get back from the TAT, because like I said, I am obsessed with the TAT and I gotta do it. And I mean, I'm already 60 and disabled, so my health isn't gonna be getting any better. Well, I suppose it'll get a little better if I start walking or something, but it's not gonna get much better. So I'll probably better do it now before my health gets worse, don't you think? Yo, feel free to comment down below. Tell me what you think. Give me suggestions. Constructive criticism is welcome. Criticism is welcome. Okay, so go ahead, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think I should do. Recommend other vehicles to do the tat. Recommend other ways to continue my lifestyle after the tat. Okay? But thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. See you soon.